Well, howdy, little preschool partners. How y'all doing? I'm here with my trusty little horse, Trigger, and she and I are going to show you some new skills today. How to hold a writing utensil, like a pen, like a marker, even like a pencil. All right, maybe a Sharpie, a permanent marker that your grown-up says, be careful, you're going to mark something up. All right, then you can grow up and you can be, I don't know, even a tattoo artist. So, enjoy. Here's how we're going to do it. All right, I'm going to show you some tips. Come along, y'all. Let's go. Come on, Trigger. You ready? Giddy up. All right, it's Mr. Lorne, and I'm here with all my junk, all my stuff on my big red table, and I dropped my phony cowboy accent because, you know, I don't want people to start making up their own phony upstate New York or New Jersey accent. The first thing we have to do when we're writing, before we even write, we need to build up some strength in our hands. We need our fingers to be able to hold a writing implement. So we need to be able to hold a marker, hold a crayon, because we can't just do this all the time. It won't work. So when we're little, sometimes we just pick up something and we start scribbling and scribbling and scribbling, and then maybe we'll start to hold it like this, just like this. And sometimes I'm wearing a cowboy western shirt, so sometimes a little accent slips in there, and sometimes we'll fist it like this. We'll just scribble. We might switch hands back and forth because we don't know which hand we want to use yet. Then we might hold it back here a little bit, or we might start to hold it down here. Sometimes we hold at the very bottom when we're writing. Eventually we're going to use a more mature grasp, something a little bit like this. Some kids like to do this. They like to modify it a little bit. So we want to make something that's successful for them. It's a little difficult in this day and age because a lot of kids, this is the cell phone I'm going to use. It's a calculator, but let's pretend I'm just typing like this, or I'm swiping like that, or I'm pushing buttons. I'm not building up all those muscles that I need for writing. So I put a whole bunch of activities out here that we can use to build up all your muscles. Muscles in your fingers, muscles in your wrist, muscles to help you stabilize, and use your arms to help you when you write, because you're going to need paper, and you're going to have to hold it, and you're going to have to write, and you have to push a little harder, and you have to pull down, and pull diagonal, and pull across, and make circles too. So here are some tools we're going to try. I'm just going to throw them out there, go through them, and then you can try them at home. Stamps like this, whether using your pushing with your fingers, you're really pushing, or you're using your fingers and pushing and making dots. So stamping is a great activity. Play-Doh, our favorite activity, Play-Doh, where we have to pinch, pull, we have to squeeze it. So again, we're working on all these great muscles. We're using our hands together, we're passing the piece back and forth, or we're rolling it together. So pinching and pulling. Sometimes we like to hide things inside the Play-Doh, so maybe we can take a penny and hide it right in there and bury it, and then you kids, you have to dig it out and try to find it. You're using your skills. And if Play-Doh's a little too easy, well, what can we use? We can use clay or something else like Sculpey. Sculpey is really tricky. It's a little harder, but it works really well. You can pinch it and pull it and roll it, and then you can even bake it. Here's Legos. Legos are great because you have to push them together, pinch them really hard. You could use Duplos, which are the larger ones, the Mega Blocks, which are super large. Squeezing. Here's some bubbles. Kids love bubbles. So any kind of toy that gets kids squeezing. Picking up items too, using your little pincer grasp, we call it, to pick things up off of tables. If it's too hard, maybe picking them up off the carpet, or trying items that have more of a dimension to them, like an eraser. All right, different items. Puffballs are great too. Using tongs to help pick things up. Again, we're working all those finger muscles. These are all the things that you have laying around your house. I just dug them out of my house too, since the classrooms are all closed. Pre-writing also helps us with our silverware. So all our self-feeding skills, right? We have to eat. Some kids are holding it like this, right? Some adults are too, but we can also isolate our muscles a little bit differently so that we can begin to use more of a mature grasp, and then we can even use our hands together. So you can hold and keep your item still, and you can cut. You can practice that with your Play-Doh too. It's great using the play silverware with Play-Doh, with water, in the bathtub. You can feed the dolls, right? So you're practicing, you're getting all those finger skills ready, getting your fingers all coordinated, all those little digits of yours, right? We have different kinds of punchers. This one's the one for adults, but you're working on squeezing skills. You're putting the paper in the mouth and punching, right?
working on that, making holes. It's amazing how long a child can be occupied with some adult things that they don't think they should be able to use. Our little stampers like this, little punchers. There's so many kinds you can squeeze like this too. Beading is another great activity for kids, right? You have to hold the string with one hand and a bead with another and put it in together. Your hands are working together and pulling the bead down or dropping it, picking up another bead and putting it on. You're isolating, you're taking them apart. You could even pick them up, hold them in your hand, pick up another one. Look, another dangerous tool, a screwdriver. Oh no, don't let a kid use it. Well, you know what? I think it's okay, right? You know your kids. Find some screws. Find a screwdriver. They don't even have to be screwing things in. It's just to play, just to touch, just to practice, just to play. Try anything. Oh, look, there's a hole. Can we punch out the little holes with a screwdriver? Sure. Look, I'm using my hands together, and that's one of our goals. Ziploc bags, right? This one's a really small one, but for a snack, we like having kids practice to pinch and slide their hand across, coordinating, or on the table, pushing down and sliding across, and listen for that snap, right? Snap. Kids love paper and little notebooks, little cute things. So sticky notes, right? These are old scrappy sticky notes, little notebooks. Oh, how cool for kids to scribble in and write in. In school, we talk about this is your notebook for writing and drawing. It's not for scribble scrabble, so not this. You can do your shapes, right? Different kinds of shapes. You can do lines. Right? And if you know how to draw pictures, draw those pictures. Finding stickers and putting stickers anywhere you want. Well, check with your grown-up first. Stickers are awesome. I just grabbed our garage sale stickers. How about real food? Things that you have to open, like pinching and pulling and using your skills like that. A banana is great for peeling. Clementines, the little teeny oranges where the peel is very loose and you can just pinch it and pull it. Things kids have to squeeze, like glue. Right? We're not used to squeezing glue anymore. We have the glue stick where we open it and we have to turn and turn and turn. Another great skill until it's up. Elevator, take me up, and stop. Not too tall, right? You don't want the glue to break. Then rubbing and pushing. All right, I'm gonna close my glue. Speaking of opening water bottles too, right? We can open and twist and then we can close it and check to see if it's closed. Kids love containers. Right, opening and dumping and picking things up again and putting them inside the container, picking them up, putting them in. Kids can never get enough tape. Peeling it, right, peeling it, and then the ripping part. Pinch, pinch, and rip. So we love ripping. It's a great skill. Some of our favorite OTs will work on ripping the paper. Ripping the paper. Who likes to rip paper? Well, one of our favorite authors, Eric Carle. He loves to rip paper and make collages, crumpling and crinkling, right? Even crinkling little pieces. And then getting your glue, right? And gluing it on. Or making dots. Dot, dot, dot. Crinkle one, crinkle two, and doing all kinds of fun stuff like that. We have so many different things to write with. So many. We have markers. We have crayons and pencils and pens. I love taking out a big bucket of writing utensils and letting kids kind of explore and see what happens. They'll help me check to see which markers are working and which ones are not. We have Magnadoodles we use. We have the dry erase boards. And we also use the rule, this is the no scribbling board. It's just for writing. If you want to scribble, that's okay, but I need the board and I need the marker. And here, you can have the kid crayon and you can go scribble on some paper. But right now, this is writing time. So we like to define that. They have a long crayon. Quite often what happens is they'll hold it up top or they might fist it. So we want to remove this part. So what we do is we snap a crayon or a pencil, we'll sharpen all the way till it's a little stubby short pencil. And then now they can't hold it like this. And they can't hold it like this. They have to hold it with their little fingers just like this, right? In a tripod grasp, 3 fingers. And now they have to draw like this. So they can draw, right? Circle, circle, stop, pull down, pull across. They can work on their diagonals. These are all the shapes that we need when we're writing letters. You can also elevate your paper so it's up a little bit more. Doot, 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 doot. And now they have to write at an angle. Now you're strengthening here and you're making their arm forced, their wrist has to be straight in order to write like this. So by increasing that angle, so you could jack this up a little bit, all right? Or they could write on a wall. You could tape this right to a wall. You can open it up. We put the cap right on the back, just like a backpack, so we don't lose it. It doesn't roll off. All right, we pick up our marker. We have to get it all set in our hand. I like to put it right here in the seat. Here's the seat, and we hold on tight, and then we can write just like this. We can go all around the paper. And if we start to move, if this marker starts to creep up, uh-oh, it looks like this marker might need a seatbelt. So I love to use a rubber band. I put a rubber band around my wrist just like this. It's a seatbelt. And here I go. I'm going to put my marker here and help my child or my friend and put the seatbelt on. Look at that. Now the marker can't go anywhere. It has a seatbelt. Click it or tick it, right? And circle, 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 stop. Keeping my arm down on the table. I'm holding my paper. I'm sitting tall. My body is ready. My hand is ready. My tools are ready to write and draw. And so many different things by putting my shapes together. Share your ideas with me. All right, I can't wait to hear what you're doing. All right, gold token for you. Good job.